years ago that robbed him of an appearance in the Munster club when they had won the county title. A tremendous service for club and county on his day, and he'll be missed. But in fairness, an able deputy in Jason Gillan, someone that I guess will be eyeing up, progression in the number one shirt. Has played there for Mary I, has played there, for Limerick on occasion at underage and even at senior level. So that's just to mark that there for Brian Murray. It looks like the hurley has been hung up, so to speak. But getting back to the teams, it's interesting to see that the one that stands out for me is Oisin O'Reilly, captaining the side from midfield. Not often we'd have seen him with a single digit number on his back, often seen close to the goal. So it'll be interesting to see where he does actually line out, if he does stay in around the midfield. But obviously with new management, Kilmallock, looking at things a little bit differently. Teams will have figured out the different ploys that they applied last year, and they just need to reinvent it ever so slightly to go again and try and retain their title. The Patrickswell team, you mentioned obviously on our programmes here, Cian Lynch, number 38. Obviously nowhere near a return, but to have two of the foreign players in the country in the one club is phenomenal. Dermot Burns, many people's pick for hurler of the year, and Aaron Gillan, people said he had a quiet All-Ireland final, John, but he still managed to score, was it 7 or 8 points in 3 at Austin play. If that's quiet, then I'd hate to see him on a busy day. So plenty of matchups, plenty to discuss over the course of the hour. Really looking forward to it.
Yeah, just give you a rundown now of both starting lineups here in Newcastle West, starting with the county champions Kilmallock. In goals, Barry Hennessy. Full back line of Aaron Costello, Mark O'Loughlin and Dan Joy. Half back line, Kevin O'Donnell, Philip O'Loughlin and Paddy O'Loughlin. Midfield, as Tom Clancy mentioned, Oisin O'Reilly, who captains this Kilmallock side, and Robbie Hanley in midfield with him. Half forward line of Micheál Houlihan, Conor Hanley Clark and Phelim O'Reilly, and the Kilmallock full forward line, very vastly experienced Graham Mulcahy, Gavin O'Mahony in with the young gun Shane O'Brien, Limerick under 20 player this year, and of course winning an All-Ireland schools with Ard Skull-Reach as well. Over to the Patrickswell side, as we mentioned, Jason Gillan in goals. Full back line of Kelvin Lynch, Nigel Foley and Shawnee O'Brien. Half back line, Mark Carmody, Dermot Burns, who of course captains this Patrickswell side yet again this year, and Tom Nolan. Midfield, Jack Kelleher and John Flynn. Half forward line, senior debut for Jordan Higgins. He's joined by Cian Fitzgerald, making his first start at this level as well as Patrick Kirby, of course, made a breakthrough last year for Patrickswell. And the full forward line, Tom O'Brien, Aaron Gillan and John Kirby. Patrickswell side managed again for the second year by John O'Mara. And over Kilmallock this year, you've Paul Tobin and Owen Ryan, as well as their coach, Fintan O'Connor. Tom, neck on the line, who's going to come through?
I can't see past Kilmallock, but for the fact that Patrickswell are missing the last number of names on their team sheet. Calvin Carroll, Kevin O'Brien, Josh Considine, Cian Lynch. On any given day, they're 4 nailed-on starters. I think Kilmallock, having had the success of last year, will just carry that bit of momentum that maybe Patrickswell might be lacking. But look, and in this weather, John, I think anything is possible. I'd really fancy. I'd really fancy a good open game here. Plenty on the line. Wanting to lay down a marker with, there is five group games this year, but wanting to lay down a marker against one of your traditional rivals.
Of course, referee for this evening's game is Donnacha O'Callaghan from Fiona Castlemahan.
Just giving us the thumbs up there, John. He's good to go. We will have a minute's silence, which we'll get to in a second. But good crowd coming in. A bit of confusion which gate to enter here, but a work going on the far side there, so I had to enter up at the AstroTurf side.
Yeah, we're just going to observe a minute's silence now here in Newcastle West for Jimmy Lee, the father of Limerick senior football manager Billy Lee, and of course Joan Foley, the mother of Patrickswell, former Patrickswell chairman Paul Foley, and of course the Limerick delegate to Central Council as well. We pass on our deepest condolences to both families on their passing. We'll have that minute's silence now. Very well observed minute silence there for the passings of Jimmy Lee and Joan Foley. We're also now going to pause for our Naveen. So all set to go here in Newcastle West for the Sponsor Cures Hospital. Limerick Senior Hurling Championship clash, a repeat of the 2021 final between Kilmallock and Patrickswell. Tom Clancy just noting already a change and the Patrickswell positional change. Tom Nolan going back left corner back and Shawnee O'Brien out to left wing back. No surprise to see that. Both players equally adept in the positions are going to take up as well before throwing here. So moments away, Kilmallock in their traditional green, playing from left to right as you see it here on camera, and Patrickswell in their blue and gold. I'm just seeing Conor Henley Clark making his way out late. Donegal Callahan giving final instructions. Bit of schmozzling going on there between Nigel Foley and Shane O'Brien inside. So interesting.
Yeah, welcome to senior hurling, Shane, says Nigel.
Yeah, it's underway here. It's Patrickswell with Mark Carmody straight away in possession. Paddy O'Loughlin chasing him. Carmody gives it in low. It's a good ball too into the corner there. It's Tom O'Brien that has it, I think. It's O'Brien. In fact, it's not. It's played backwards into the centre now to Cian Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald with the opening shot of the game. It's going to drop short to Barry Hennessy. Well dealt with there by him. Gives it out to Kevin O'Donnell. Low one from O'Donnell's dropped. Maybe a goal chance here. It's Tom O'Brien. Goal for Patrickswell. A mistake from Kevin O'Donnell. He tried to flick pass into the back of the net, and Tom Clancy, 30 seconds on the clock. There's a goal in it straight away.
Oh, what a start! What a finish! Once it opened up for me, had to go for goal. Really, John. No matter what the time of the game, you have to take those opportunities. It reminded me a little bit of the goal Tom Morrissey got the other day for a hand against the Dare, just capitalising on poor defensive play.
And it's Hanley Clark now has it, delivering into the full forward line. High enough on in towards Gavin O'Mahony. Lovely touch from O'Mahony. Doesn't work out though, and Burns is there for Patrickswell to tidy it up into Mark Carmody. Good touch from Carmody. He's been fouled. Foul committed there by Phelan O'Reilly. And a chance for us to take a quick breath here. Tom, what a start to the game.
Yeah, I clocked it in around 24-25 seconds, John. Just what the game will have wanted. I suppose the underdogs in a lot of ways, Patrickswell, but just getting a super start, and Kilmallock now, maybe they're going to question their style of play there in the next couple of times the ball comes in around there, but yeah, super start to the game, and Patrickswell looking to build on it already. Yeah,
we're also seeing Oisin O'Reilly maybe operating around the wing as this one goes short, nearly doesn't work out for Patrickswell. Indeed, Conor Henley Clark, I should say, to O'Reilly with the strike. Is this the first one for Kilmallock? Another mistake that's been capitalised on, a fine score as well. Well, expertly taken by Oisin O'Reilly.
Yeah, I mentioned John, him playing, in around the midfield is not something we're used to, but coming off the shoulder there, man, his pace and quality was never going to miss. Great score. Sharp
puck out eventually driven long by Jason Gillan in towards the corner there. That's Patrickswell out there, and Gillan, it comes sideline over the shoulder. Gillan, he's usually fairly adept from this angle, and Aaron Gillan just shows exactly why. He's one of the best forwards in the country right now and has been for the last several years. Excellent score.
Yeah. Very familiar sight of Aaron Gillan wheeling away and just throwing it up over the shoulder. Lovely score. Give him that much time and you're going to be in trouble. He can do that with a man up on top of him, and Kilmallock giving far too much room there.
Excellent stuff there as this one goes short to Kevin O'Donnell. This time gives the hand pass away now back to Aaron Costello. Into the middle it comes. Philip O'Loughlin delivering this one, but there's no one there from a Kilmallock point of view. Should be easy pickings for Nigel Foley. Foley decides to switch play. It's a dangerous one. Shane O'Brien is onto it in a flash, but Patrickswell have managed to hold up play, and it's John Flynn to Shawnee O'Brien. O'Brien sent off in last year's county final for 2 yellow cards. Gets this pass away. Eventually comes now to John Kirby. Kirby's hand pass though doesn't initially go to plan for Patrickswell. Good work from the Kilmallock players and just making sure that attack doesn't come to fruition. Shawnee O'Brien now on the run for Patrickswell. Has he thrown that in front of him? Ref says no. O'Brien still going. Good work from Shawnee O'Brien. Tries to hand pass it back to John Kirby, but Oisin O'Reilly is there, and O'Reilly looking to deliver. Delivers it low into the centre. It's going to break through. It's breaking through to Shane O'Brien. O'Brien now trying to kick this one through to Conor Hanley Clark, but it's picked up back there by Tom Nolan. Nolan coming out with it with the boot as well. Tom Nolan still going with this for Patrickswell. Hasn't been fouled. He has not. He was fouled earlier. Indeed, it was Kelvin Lynch coming out with possession, and Lynch was fouled in back play, so advantage not accruing to Patrickswell, and there's the man down as well for Kilmallock.
Yeah, I should think it's Gavin O'Mahony who shipped a heavy blow there from Darren Burns. Completely accidental, just a bit of a rock ball and collided with him. I actually don't think the referee's going to give a free here. I could be mistaken, but I think he just was worried about Gavin O'Mahony with a bit of a head injury. Liam Mulcahy, in fairness, the physio straight in and to his aid, but yeah, a chance for everyone to draw. But a fine crowd, as you can see over on the far side, John. These games deserve the support of the public. We've seen what the intercounty team has done, and that all stems from the clubs like Patrickswell and Kilmallock and all the clubs across the county. So good to see the support here this evening on such a poor evening.
It's Dermot Burns with this free. I think it's an indirect one, otherwise he'd be going for a score, would Dermot. And Donnacha O'Callaghan has spotted something inside. It's going to be a free out. I'm not quite sure, Tommy missed that one.
Yeah, a bit of holding off the ball or something. Baker's belief now, because the ball wasn't actually in play. I'm not sure.
Maybe a call. The umpires are mic'd up with referee Donnacha O'Callaghan as well. Either way, it's a free for Kilmallock. And Barry Hennessy readiest to take this one. Micheál Houlihan been marked tightly by John Kirby. In fact, Tom O'Brien, that is. So Hennessy has it once more. Plays it out to Aaron Costello. Costello does well to keep that one in play right on the touchline. Costello gets that pass inside to Dan Joy. Joy delivers long again, but Patrickswell are there in numbers, and there's a man gone down there. I think it was Graham Mulcahy clashing with Tom Nolan. Either way, it's Patrickswell on the attack inside towards Gillan. Gillan has done brilliantly to get that into his hand. Gets the pass away to Jordan Higgins. Maybe another goal chance. Higgins low. It's off the post and into the back of the net. Goal number 2 for Patrickswell. The first touch that Jordan Higgins has had. We're going to have a break in play here. First touch of the ball for Jordan Higgins in senior hurling. And Tom, that's the one way to make your debut.
Yeah, I used the phrase "welcome to senior hurling" for Shane O'Brien from the throw-in. Welcome to senior hurling, Jordan Higgins. That's a great run, great angle off the shoulder for Angelan to find him, and a lovely finish. You don't beat it Barry Hennessy easily, but when you hit it low like that, you have every chance, and you use the post to good effect. So we've had 4 scores and 2 of them goals.
2-1 to Patrickswell, 1 point to Kilmallock. Stunning start here after just 6 minutes of play in Newcastle West in the Sponsecures Hospital Limerick Senior Hurling Championship tie. As this low puck out from Hennessy got to first by Ushan Riley. Doesn't pick it up though. Micheál Houlihan does. Kevin O'Donnell into the middle to Dan Joy. In fact, it's Aaron Costello. Costello goes low with it, aiming for Shane O'Brien. O'Brien is out in front of Kelvin Lynch and got a little tug on the shoulder as well, did Shane O'Brien. So a chance now for Kilmallock to get their second score of the game. It's going to be Micheál Houlihan, who had such a fine year for Kilmallock in 2021. Of course, led him onto the extended Limerick Senior Hurling panel. Of course, that tasted All-Ireland success for the 4th time in 5 years, only a few weeks ago. But Micheál Houlihan now from just inside the 45, up 5 or 6 metres inside. Should be well within his range. So Houlihan lifts and strikes and gets a good connection on it. Over the bar it goes. So a much needed score there for Kilmallock, Tom.
Yeah, and a nice easy one for him to start out with. And just to bring people up to date, Ballybrown and Blackrock 2-1 to Ballybrown after 7 minutes. So plenty of games across the county, and that's just one of the other senior ones. We've 4 senior games on tonight, so plenty of action across the county.
Back to Mark Carmody here. Carmody delivers it high inside, looking for the run there. It's well kept in play as well. Plenty of players calling for inside. The shot's going to come. In fact, it's switched and the shot comes in. Easy for Barry Hennessy on the line. Not the greatest of shots on that occasion from Patrick Kirby, I think it was in the end.
Yeah, it was certainly one of the Kirbys, by the style of him, but just left it a little bit short. Kilmallock need to build on that score now very quickly, because the game could get away from it if it doesn't. Lovely
play from Conor Hanley-Clark into Robbie Hanley. Hanley getting the strike away. Be a great score if Hanley can land this one, but just to the right and wide. We needed score for Kilmallock on that occasion. Good work from Hanley-Clark to give that to the onrushing Robbie Hanley, but Hanley couldn't find the target, and it will result in a puck out for Jason Gillan. He goes short to Nigel Foley. Foley looking at his options long and decides to give it down the line, but it should be plenty of time here for Kilmallock to pick that one. It's Aaron Costello, switches play, loads of time and space for Paddy O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin low into the middle. It's a 50-50 ball, and it's won there by Jack Kelleher. Flicked away though from him. Mark Carmody is there though. Pick up the pieces for Patrickswell. Back to Burns. Burns, short pass. Shooting chance now for Keller. Decides to give it inside, and again straight into the waiting arms of Aaron Costello. Under a bit of pressure from Gillan. Gives the ball back to Mark O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin goes short. Micheál Houlihan steps past Shawnee O'Brien. There's been a foul there by Shawnee O'Brien. Houlihan made the step. O'Brien was having none of that and gives away the foul.
Yeah, I think O'Brien kind of led with the helmet in a roundabout sort of way, and they made a bit of contact. So, in fairness to Houlihan, he tried to step out of it. O'Brien didn't. So, in fairness, good call by Donegal. It looks like Aaron Costello is the free man, if you like, in the Kilmallock defence. He's picked up the last 2 or 3 deliveries, which have been poor enough from a Patrickswell point of view. He's picked them up and tried to launch their attack. So, he's wearing 2. And so Cian Fitzgerald has gone into the inside forward line for. Oh no, sorry, Cian Fitzgerald's out in the midfield, but it just Aaron Costello's free, so Patrickswell will need to mind their possession a bit better.
Houlihan's ball is delivered, caught at the edge of the square, and it's going to be a free out for Patrickswell. It was Burns that caught it at the edge of the square. There was a foul beforehand though, and Jason Gillan will take this one.
A man with a seriously long puck, as we know, John, so be interested to see, does he go? He's gone short with the puck outs, but he goes a little bit longer with this one.
Aiming for Tom O'Brien down in front of us here. It's half won by Philip O'Loughlin. O'Brien is onto it in a flash. Already a goal in this game. Tom O'Brien gets the pass away, and it's the shot coming in from John Flynn. Has the accuracy as well from Flynn. It's another score for the Well. And Tom, they're really showing some fine form so far.
They are, yeah. We're just beyond the 10th minute now, as you can see there, and you know, threats from all over. They're not relying on Gillan, as many people might suspect. Kilmallock yet to really get into any bit of a rhythm. Their 2 points, you know, very much isolated scores, and struggling, I guess, to find their forwards with you know, possession that isn't 50-50. So worrying so far for Kilmallock, but a long way to go.
Lovely ball from Conor Hanley Clark into the edge of the square. O'Brien is going, just didn't get anything on it. Easily collected in the end by Jason Gillan. A pinpoint pass out. Patrickswell leading 2 goals and 2 points to Kilmallock's 2 points as John Kirby delivers this one in long towards Aaron Gillan. There's going to be a couple of players up. Gillan jumps, unable to win it though, and Kilmallock have numbers back there. And it's going to be worked out to Kevin O'Donnell. O'Donnell deciding to go long off his right hand side. There's no one there though from Kilmallock's point of view, and it's an easy take for Patrickswell defender, which is their fullback. Nigel Foley switches play very well over to Jason Gillan. Gillan could go long, decides to go short to Mark Carmody. Patrickswell going through the lines very nicely at times here, but that's not the best of passes from Mark Carmody, and it's going to be a sideline ball to Kilmallock. But Patrickswell will certainly be the happier so far, Tom.
They really will, yeah. They've you know, apart from that one there, they've used the possession overall quite well. Kilmallock, I guess, in the last minute or two, just last maybe 3 or 4 minutes, maybe starting to find the possession a bit better, but you know, yet to really trouble the scorekeeper here in Newcastle West.
This one now is falling for Graham Mulcahy. Mulcahy with the time and space, and Graham Mulcahy has made a living of popping over points like that, and no surprise to see that one follow a very, very familiar trait.
Yeah, off his left as well, John, and not to say he's a one-sided hurler, but he definitely favours the left, and he's extremely accurate from there. We've seen it down the years. You just can't give him any bit of room in these games. He'll punish you.
And Gillan delivers this one long after it initially going short again by Patrickswell. Probably too long though on this occasion. Wide ball, just that bit long. Too good a strike by Jason Gillan on that occasion, and it results in Patrickswell's first wide of the game. So Barry Hennessy will get us back underway here. He's looking at his options short. Doesn't seem to be too much on for Barry. Bench leaders are run. It's a good run from Conor Hanley Clark. Gorgeous touch from Clark. Gives the ball back. Houlihan inside to Philip O'Loughlin, but again that's a poor delivery into the forward line eventually from Patrickswell, and Dermot Burns easily takes it back to Jack Kelleher. Kelleher can score from this range. He's very adept at doing so, but at this stage it's gone to the right and wide. Chance for Kelleher. He'll certainly view it as a chance, but goes to the right, and Kilmallock are straight back onto it. Conor Hanley Clark tries the little flick, well read by Mark Carmody. Carmody now trying to get a bit of space for himself. This will be a big momentum score if Carmody can pick it off. He's unable to do so. 3 quick fire wides for Patrickswell. They've been very accurate up to that point, Tom, but their 5-point lead remains intact.
Yeah, they good play by Mark Carmody. He probably rushed the shot. He probably had a little more time than he thought, because Conor Hanley Clark was gone one way, flicked it off him, so he had that. He bought himself a second, just didn't execute as well as he would have liked. And there's a foul by the same player, Mr. Mark Carmody. Yeah,
good work from Oisin O'Reilly. Got out in front on that occasion, forcing Carmody into the foul. A bit disappointed with that one, Mark will be, but maybe given the space Oisin O'Reilly had to run into there, probably the right option. A chance now for Micheál Houlihan to get another score. Scored 1. Yeah,
the towels will be well used this evening, John, especially for free takers. As you know, a dry ball and a dry hurley is paramount sometimes to get a good connection. So Donegal O'Callaghan is.
Yeah, there's been an incident here, I think, involving Aaron Gillan and Mark O'Loughlin. The umpires are certainly discussing it. Mark O'Loughlin is protesting anyway. He went down, certainly under the challenge of Gillan off the ball, so maybe a bit of trouble ahead here for the Patrickswell number 14. Certainly Donegal O'Callaghan's attention has been drawn to something, and it was O'Loughlin and Gillan that certainly clashed in there. It was O'Loughlin that ended up on the ground, but that doesn't necessarily mean that anything untoward had happened. So,
yeah, in fairness, Donoghal's an experienced referee, and he has experienced officials as in umpires and linesmen with him all the time. So I'd say it'll just be a warning that we won't be accepting any more of that. So Mark O'Loughlin, he's probably going to feel hard done by here from what we could tell. But Aaron Gillan just getting a stern talking to this. No more of it.
Yeah, Donegal, as you mentioned, very, very adept at dealing with situations like this. No cards shown, just a talking to both players, and play will restart with a Kilmallock free from Micheál Hoolan, but something to keep an eye on certainly is that battle as this game continues. So just past midway between the 65 and 45 will Micheál Hoolan have this free.
Yeah, we're at the midway point of the half, John, and Kilmallock for county champions. You can excuse the weather and this or that, but to only have three points and maybe only had 4 shots is, a little bit underwhelming. I know they're going to have another shot here, but they'll be disappointed with the start for sure.
So it's Hoolan looking for his second free. No problem whatsoever for Micheál Hoolan. The white flag is raised, and it's a 4-point lead now, reduced for Patrickswell, reduced to 4 points after that free.
Yeah, well struck, John, and Kilmallock, that's 2 in the trot. They want to try and make it 3 or 4 and just eat into that lead.
Long puck out from Gillan, well won there by Phelim O'Reilly, and it's Oisin O'Reilly now that has it. Oisin delivering off his left. This time it's a good ball for Shane O'Brien. O'Brien gets it in the hand. There's danger. That's exactly what he's done. Shane O'Brien brilliantly blocked by Tom Nolan. But the free, they will come back for the free. But Shane O'Brien showing if you give that ball long, he might be only 18 years of age. He's very, very dangerous with any type of ball going in, Tom.
He certainly is. We saw it for Artskull during the year, and I know, John, you were at a lot of those games, as was I. He is a formidable force for such a young man, still a teenager, obviously. That score he got up in Nina, if he can top that any time in his career, he'll be doing well. But he showed there why he'll have to be closely marked for this championship and beyond. Just a great take there, and maybe but for the foul, I think there was a certain goal on, but I suppose a clever foul from a Patrickswell point of view.
That's another for Hoolan, another for Patrick's, or for Kilmallock, I should say. Third in the row for Kilmallock. And there was a lead now, Tom, reduced even further to 3 points.
Yeah, 3 on the spin, and bringing it back to 3 points. So Kilmallock just growing into it the whole time. I see there Paddy O'Brien going through a small bit of a warm up beneath us, and another very experienced player in the Kilmallock team as they win a free out here. Just those little moments starting to go in their favour in the last few minutes. So that's why the scoreboard is I suppose has reduced to 3, but. Patrickswell, they'll just want to settle them down again.
Yeah, Aaron Gillan, the man that causing trouble there. That's Micheál Hoolan takes that one from Paddy O'Loughlin. It's a dangerous ball across. It's Conor Hanley Clark. Should be an easy enough one for Hanley Clark. Straight over the bar. That's 4 in a row now for Kilmallock. And all of a sudden there's just 2 between the sides.
Great score, John. Great pass across. Even if it was a risky one, that's where sometimes the easy scores, if you like, come from, when you can play a pass like that to take players out of it. Lovely little snap on the bouncing ball, and lovely set of wrists from Hanley Clark to drive it over.
Foul on Jordan Higgins there by Paddy O'Loughlin. The judge is the referee. Looked to be 2 players just coming together, but Donegal has decided that it was a foul, and Aaron Gillan, first free of the game for him. Midway between the 65 and 45, similar to Micheál Hoolan's a couple of minutes ago. And a chance for Gillan to get his second point of the game. Of course, that outrageous one early on that really helped Patrickswell to press at advantage early days, but Kilmallock have done well to bring this one right back into a contest. 2-2 to 6 points. Patrickswell not scoring since the 10th minute, and we've 18.5 minutes played here in Newcastle West. As Gillan strikes this one, and no mistake from straight in front for Aaron Gillan. So that's a run of 4 in a row for Kilmallock. Just stopped. So Just enough for Patrickswell time to keep them ticking over.
Yeah, I think they needed that, John. The last few puckouts have come back way too quickly and way too easily. As another aerial challenge that Donegal Callan lets go. And, Burns there taking on Micheál Houlihan, and I suppose two of them ended up in the deck. And in fairness to Donegal Callan, he didn't buy the free, if you like. He decided that the defender was the guilty party there. So these are big moments for teams. These are big turnovers. You hear the roars sometimes when they come up. We heard one there from Kilmallock. They're crucial moments in games.
Probably the most difficult free of the game for Micheál Houlihan. It's about 10 or 11 metres from the sideline.
Yeah, and just like Aaron Gillan, I heard Aaron Gillan during the week just speaking about his routine for frees, and Micheál is no different. We saw him last year in the group stage against Ballybrown. I think he hit 16 or 17 points. Phenomenal free taker. I haven't cursed him, have I? Straight over, never in doubt, John.
Oh, straight over the bar from Micheál Houlihan. Another score for him, and more importantly, another score for Kilmallock. There's just two between the sides yet again. Of course, free taking on an evening like this becoming so vital. Was that a sharp puck out from Jason Gillan? The whistle hadn't blown, so it was always going to come back. Aaron wants it again.
Is he going to look for the big brother again? Aaron certainly wants it.
He's gone short this time. Nigel Foley back to Jason Gillan. It's definitely going to come out the same wing, but a lot deeper now, and it's Gillan versus Kevin O'Donnell. Drums up. Kevin O'Donnell's done well to win that one. Gillan has forced it. He's lost a hurley though, and now it's John Kirby in possession. Tries the lovely pick up, handled on the ground. Say the Kilmallock sideline referee says no, and it's Kilmallock trying to win this one back, and it's Mark O'Loughlin that does so to Kevin O'Donnell. O'Donnell dispossessed though by Tom O'Brien, still going though. And it's Dan Joy and eventually Robbie Hanley, but neither side able to win clean ball. Tom O'Brien thought he had it, still bobbling around. Eventually it's Robbie Hanley straight across his goal to Aaron Costello. Costello flicks this one out to Micheál Houlihan. Now there's a bit of space for Kilmallock to play into. Houlihan goes with it though, still going with it, gives a short touch in O'Reilly gets the ball into his hand. He's got Phelan O'Reilly out the wing. He's still going with it. Bounces it off the ground. Does Oisin. Oisin still going. He's lightning quick. Is Oisin O'Reilly. This will be a stunning score if he can pop it over, but it's gone to the left and wide. Would have been the score of the game, Tom. Brilliant move out of their full back line all the way up to Oisin, but the finish was lacking on that occasion.
Yeah, it's great bit of stuff from Kilmallock right from the back. They carried it up well through Micheál Houlihan and Oisin O'Reilly, showing, putting on the afterburners. We've seen him do that close to the goal down the years and put him in the back of the net or over the bar, but just the radar a little bit off there. But these possessions now, these rucks becoming very, very important.
And Kevin O'Donnell winning it there on Tom O'Brien, and O'Donnell launches it. Just got the flick inside, the ball up towards Graham Mulcahy and Tom Nolan, but doesn't manage to stay in play. So sideline ball this will be for Patrickswell. They're looking to take it quickly, do so. And it's into John Flynn. Flynn gets the flick away only as far as Oisin O'Reilly. Great take, O'Reilly now with time to strike. Oisin O'Reilly, excellent score from Oisin O'Reilly. The nod comes from the umpire on the right to the umpire on the left, and we've a 1 point game, Tom.
Oh, brilliant stuff. He just showed he didn't need to go running with the ball this time. He just takes it in the air, beats his man, and just opens up the shoulders. Great stuff. He's had 2 long range points so far, two fine efforts. And as he kind of just gathers his breath there. But I must say the Kilmallock forward line starting to, I suppose, work together. As Graham Mulcahy almost intercepts that one.
Yes, Jack Kelleher now with the pass.
Another turnover, John. That's it's a big part of the game that teams focus on now, and Kilmallock's just starting to make those happen now, and as a result, they're going to create more chances.
Yeah, it's going to be Conor Hanley Clark here with the sideline ball. He'd won earlier on, and it was a super ball delivered into the edge of the square. Just didn't come off on that occasion, but he can show he can do it. It's gone back to him now. And it's Hanley Clark with the strike, and that's an absolute stunner. Perfect view of it. We've a level game here in Newcastle West. 2-3 to Patrickswell and 9 points to Kilmallock. And Tom, that's the score of the game for me so far.
Yeah, lovely stuff again from Hanley Clark. Just beyond the 23-minute mark now, John, and level Kilmallock really getting on top. Those 2 goals from Patrickswell would have been a nice tonic at the start, but I think they've overall struggled, John. They've struggled to find their key players. We haven't seen much of Burns. We haven't seen an awful lot of Gillan, albeit he got that lovely point at the start, but we haven't seen, we've seen an awful lot more of Micheál Houlihan and Oisin O'Reilly and even Conor Hanley Clark. So Kilmallock starting to fire a bit more. Yeah,
Gillan going for this one. Hit off Phelan O'Reilly's hurley. Phelan wearing 12, but very much operating in his own half back line here, and a chance now for Patrickswell. Maybe from this sideline cut. It's Gillan that's lining it up. So a couple of metres inside the 45, but of course right on the touchline, wet day. There's no one inside the Patrickswell or the Kilmallock full back line initially, but there is now. Gillan has not struck that at all. And it's pulled on by Phelan O'Reilly. Only though to John Kirby, well dispossessed though by Graham Mulcahy working back there. Aaron Costello with the challenge. Conor Hanley-Clark has it. And Conor Hanley-Clark to Micheál Hoolan looking for a free or Kilmallock. Hoolan under pressure. And it's won by Jack Kelleher. It's Kelleher to strike. It's not a good one from him. And it's dealt with back there by Mark O'Loughlin under pressure. Gives the pass to Kevin O'Donnell. Donncha O'Callaghan's going to stop play for that challenge on Conor Hanley-Clark. Kilmallock sideline were baying for a free on that occasion. Looked to be a challenge as Hanley-Clark hand passed the ball away. But referee Donncha O'Callaghan saying there was no foul, but he has stopped play now to make sure the Kilmallock centre forward gets a bit of attention from his physio Liam Mulcahy.
We know Liam well, John. He's gone back to his native club this year. Good servant for Patrickswell in the last few years. And in fairness to him, he was on the button there to assist his men, as you know, as any good physio is. But I think Donncha O'Callaghan he's run out of road with Shawnee O'Brien. As you mentioned, John, he got sent off in last year's final. I suppose a wild enough pull late in that game. No stranger to a card or two. You know, he's ferocious enough hurler. He's a very good hurler, very fast hurler. But you know, maybe patience running thin there from Donncha O'Callaghan. So he's into the book.
Interesting now to see, as the whistle didn't go when that challenge happened, how this game is going to be restarted. And Donncha O'Callaghan is just informing the players of how this game is going to restart, explaining to Conor Hanley-Clark why the free wasn't giving maybe initially.
Yeah, just to bring people up to date, Doon and the Pearse League is that's underway as well this evening after 25 minutes. We've Doon leading that one 1-8 to 8 points. That's on Inclehan. And one of the games that I know from the Group B, Ballybrown leading Blackrock 9 points to 5, around the same 25 minutes or so kind of that one. So as I said already, loads of action in the different grades, and they're just some of the senior action that's on this evening.
Aaron Costello coming out with possession for Kilmallock. It's Kevin O'Donnell winning it. Fouled was O'Donnell, and he's going to try and take this free very quickly too. It's Kevin O'Donnell. Shane O'Brien is calling for it inside. It's going to be left though. Micheál Hoolan is the call from the Kilmallock sideline. Leave it to Hoola. That was the call. And from just inside his own 65. Should have the distance, even though the conditions are very tricky in Newcastle West. The rain is still falling very heavily. Pitch, as Tom Clancy mentioned early on, is in fantastic condition. So there'll be no problem with the purchase as he rises the ball. So it's Micheál Hoolan trying to give Kilmallock the lead for the first time in this game. Of course, Patrickswell through Tom O'Brien's goal after 25 seconds. Hoolan's gone short to Paddy O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin gives it back to Hoolan. There's a bit of time here for Hoolan. May not get a shot away. Flicks it down the line to Phelan O'Reilly instead. Kilmallock working it through the hands. Phelan on the run now. Is he over carried? Referee Donncha O'Callaghan says yes. And that was a missed chance gone for Kilmallock. And it'll be a free out that Dermot Burns will take over on that far sideline by the stand. So it's Burns lining this one up, and as John Kirby changes his boots, Donncha O'Callaghan certainly isn't going to stop the game for that.
No, he certainly isn't. I think Burns has a phenomenal strike. I just think on this evening of evenings that he probably won't be able to put this straight over the bar. He'll have to work it short.
He's gone short to Keane Fitzgerald. It's dropped by Keane Fitzgerald. Shane O'Brien trying to flick it into his hand. Battle comes, and it's Sean O'Brien that comes away with possession before hand passing into the middle. Mark Carmody onto the onrushing Dermot Burns. The pass wasn't good enough though. Just over the head of Burns. Out over the sideline it goes. Burns was hunting a score from play. Didn't come to fruition for Patrickswell, and it's Kilmallock. As we see Sean O'Brien and Shane O'Brien, no relation as far as I'm aware anyway, battling on the ground, and Donncha's going to have a chat. Certainly don't look like their relations, judging by that little skirmish, but nothing much in it as well, just a bit of a tangle, little bit of a chat from Donncha O'Callaghan. That's all that'll be merited. Yeah,
the Kilmallock line, I suppose, baying for a second yellow, and I suppose who wouldn't if they were in their shoes, but Donncha, as I mentioned already, the word experience, an experienced referee doesn't get to ref games at this level, does ref the games at this level, but he just says, get on with it, lads. And that breaking ball coming out for Patrickswell into Keane Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald looking to deliver, brilliantly blocked down by Hoolan. Falls for Carmody, can't get clean possession or gets a flick of it. And Graham Mulcahy versus John Flynn. It's Mulcahy that gets it into his hand momentarily.
And it's going to break for Patrickswell. Doesn't come up clean. Keane Fitzgerald is there for the well again though. Fitzgerald looking for a bit of help. Shane O'Brien piling the pressure on. Eventually comes back to Nigel Foley. Great pick up from Foley for the hand pass, and the well now have possession. Lose it again though. Houlihan's there. And it's Gavin O'Mahony in the end. It's struck inside by Robbie Hanley. There's no one there though. And it's easily dealt with back there by Tom Nolan. Nolan delivers long up towards Patrick Kirby. Kirby, lovely touch. Needs a bit of help here. Good work from Dan Joy, and picked up again. The loose man back there for Kilmallock is Aaron Costello. Robbie Hanley. Hanley delivers now, and it's Shane O'Brien up against Tom Nolan. O'Brien had it in his hand for a moment. It's Oisin O'Reilly in. Chance for a goal. Didn't come up for O'Reilly. Gillan's off his line. Takes the deflection. Hits the post, and Patrickswell have gotten away with that one. There's a free out coming if they need it. It's Jordan Higgins that has a low one from Higgins. If Oisin O'Reilly had controlled it, a certain goal for Kilmallock. But it's Patrickswell that have it now. It's a poor pass. Kevin O'Donnell taking it. O'Donnell up against John Flynn. Flicks it outside. Bit of space now for Gavin O'Mahony. Operating out the field, not inside now. Paddy O'Loughlin has it. Turns back to O'Mahony maybe with the hand pass. O'Loughlin goes on instead. Paddy O'Loughlin is still going. Loses it. Gets it back again. Inside to Graham Mulcahy. Mulcahy on the run. Lovely step from Mulcahy. He's looking for the score. Hand pass it out. He's been struck by Dermot Burns after the hand pass comes. And it's going to be a free for Kilmallock, Tom, but it could have been so much more.
Oh, it certainly could. Oisin O'Reilly, I don't know how many times I've said it, he's such a good player close to goal. He's gone in there for a couple of minutes. Just couldn't get to pick up right, John. He had to kind of kick it away from himself. He pulled in it from a very tight angle, bit of a ricochet, whatever happened. Off the post, so close, crucial moments. Some of these passages of play, John, they're going on for 2-3 minutes at a time. And every result from them, as a score or white, is hard earned, and is going to be important. So I suppose Kilmallock through Graham Mulcahy coming up with a big one here, and might just get their noses ahead for the very first time in this contest.
Yeah, chance here right on half time for Micheál Houlihan.
Yeah, you mentioned half time, John. It's level in Tlahan between the county champions, the favourites for the county title. That is Na Piarsaigh, 1-8 for Doon, and 11 points for Na Piarsaigh. Another rain-soaked game inside there. So just like this one, all level at the moment. But it looks like Kilmallock are going to inch ahead for now at least.
Micheál Houlihan looking to give them the advantage with the close and range free. No problem for Houlihan, and who would have thought it at the start of this game with Patrickswell's 2 quick fire goals that Kilmallock could be leading heading into half time, but that looks to be the case now as Houlihan notches yet another free.
Yeah, John, eight of the last 9 points for the men in green. That's good going in any conditions, and it's good going considering the start they had. They're really on top in a lot of sectors.
Yeah, and off goes Shane O'Brien now. He's got options inside of Shane O'Brien into Oisin O'Reilly. Can't take it though. Knew the challenge from Dermot Burns was coming, and Burns off he goes, kicking it, punching it, whatever he can do to move down the field. Hanley Clark gets the hook in, and he loses possession as Burns. Tom O'Brien is there for Patrickswell, but so is Mark O'Loughlin. Battle for possession on the ground now. Robbie Hanley's in there. It's going to pop out, and it's going to pop out for Sean O'Brien maybe. Kilmallock still fighting hard. It's Mulcahy. Loses it as well. It's behind Burns. He doesn't see it. Phelim O'Reilly gets the flick now from Mulcahy, and it's Phelim O'Reilly up against Carmody. Carmody's done enough to at least divert the danger momentarily, and there's a battle once more on the ground for it. Donegal Callan has had enough. He's blown it up for a throw-in with a man on the ground. That man is Mark Carmody. And a chance now for us to take a little breath. 32.5 minutes played here in the Bon Secours Hospital Limerick Senior Hurling Championship. Round 1 tie between Kilmallock and Patrickswell, the county champions of last year. They currently lead by a point. 10 points to Patrickswell's 2-3. And
has there been an easy ball, John, in the last 15 minutes? One? I don't think so.
No, it's been a fiercely contested game, Tom. Really, both sides giving absolutely everything. Kilmallock had the slow start. Patrickswell had the quick one. 2 goals inside 6 minutes. But Kilmallock have stuck to their task. They've gone through their phases of play very well. They've looked for Shane O'Brien long. They've played it short as well. It's been very, very impressive stuff from them to get back into the game. But I'd imagine at this stage both sidelines will want their teams in the dressing room for a refresh.
Yeah, they most certainly will, just to dry off for a few minutes and get the composure going again. I think another score here for Kilmallock would be big if they can get one, but it looks like the blue and gold are coming up with it. Yeah,
it's Sean O'Brien that has it. O'Brien flicks it across, looking for the run of John Kirby. Philip O'Loughlin is there for Kilmallock. Looks to be maybe a foul on Kirby, but instead it's Robbie Hanley coming away with Hanley with the strike. Over the black spot it goes. Patrickswell looking for a free. Hanley was looking for the score. Over the bar it goes, and Kilmallock are 2 points to the good.
Great stuff. Hotly contested, and Patrickswell not happy with it. They thought there was a shoulder kind of over the shoulder there, or a hurley over the shoulder, I should say. But Gallagher said play on, and that's the 2 point advantage that they'll be looking for.
Jason Gillan now with the puck out going long. With this one over to the far side, Jordan Higgins is over there. It's not a great one from Jason Gillan though. Didn't have many options, to be fair to him. He was looking for runners. Fairly static stuff from Patrickswell on that occasion. And again, just another lift for Kilmallock as we come to the end of what has been a pulsating half here in very, very tricky conditions. The standard of hurling has been superb. The standard of defending, more importantly, has been superb at times here as it goes short to Micheál Houlihan. Had it in the hand, lost it, has it back in the hand, looking for options. Paddy O'Loughlin is the option he takes. Back it comes to Costello. Switch is played, not the best of strikes. Mulcahy's there, opted to flick it instead of catching it, and it goes for Oisin O'Reilly, and O'Reilly on the run. Should be another score for Kilmallock if O'Reilly can pop this one over there bar. That's point number 3 for Oisin O'Reilly in this half. He broke onto the ball from Graham Mulcahy, and Tom, from nowhere, Kilmallock are into a 3-point lead and dominating the contest at the moment.
Absolutely dominating, John. 6 points in the trot now since Arngaland's free, which was actually 15 minutes ago, which is pretty startling if you look at it. Not a mind 6 in a row. They've hit 10 of the last 11 as the half-time whistle does go. But Oisin O'Reilly, what pace, John. I mean, there's very little you can do about it. You can foul him, but then they have Micheál Houlihan chipping in with the freeze. So Kilmallock really, after a sloppy first 10-15 minutes, are motoring very, very well.
Indeed they are, and just we were wondering before the game, Tom, would Oisin O'Reilly stay around the middle of the park given his prowess in the inside forward line, but certainly it's worked out a treat for Kilmallock in this half. And look, they go into 3 to 12 points ahead, and look, they'll be absolutely delighted with Paul Tobin, Owen Ryan and Fintan O'Connor.
They will, and Oisin O'Reilly, he's captain for this season. He's still a relatively young man in when you look at what else they have available, so they've obviously picked it on what they've seen. He's has had a good season last year to get himself back in the Limerick senior hurling panel, and he started tonight well. We only saw him, I think, once in the championship for Limerick out in Ennis. I guess if he keeps performing like this, we will see a lot more of him in the green of Limerick. He's had a very good half, as have Kilmallock overall. Rocked, lesser teams would have been rocked by those 2 goals at half time.
Yeah, some other scores here coming in. Blackrock 7 points, Ballybrown 10 points in one of the other senior games at half time. Tom Clancy mentioned that it's all square between Doon and Patrickswell. So it's a busy evening here in the Limerick Senior Hurling Championship. But from us here in Newcastle West at half time, where Kilmallock are leading Patrickswell 12 points to 2-3. It's an excellent first half, sure to be a brilliant second half to follow us. Join us for that second half shortly. Sound coming through okay? Welcome back to Newcastle West for the second half of the Sponsecures Hospital Limerick Senior Hurling Championship Round 1 clash between Kilmallock and Patrickswell. It's the county champions that have the advantage at the break, joined again for the second half by Tom Clancy. Tom, after that start that Patrickswell made with 2 goals inside the first 6 minutes, very few watching the game and very few here in Newcastle West would have seen Kilmallock leading by 3 at the break.
Yeah, Patrickswell were six to the good. Looked, everything seemed to be going their way. They seemed to be firing on all cylinders, but I think since then it's been a real struggle. You mentioned it was the 6 minute that Jordan Higgins rattled the back of the net via the post, but since then, literally 2 points. John Flynn on 11 minutes and Aaron Gallan with a free on 19. Really, underwhelming, I guess you could say, from a Patrickswell point of view. They're going to have to try and find something early in the second half if they want to arrest this slide. Kilmallock finished that half so strongly. The last 6 points, and I guess in the case of Kilmallock, John, everything going their way. We're more or less ready to go. I guess Donegal waiting for the field to be clear down to our left hand side here. Just as well, we did call the scores at half time. The Piercy and Doon level Ballybrown ahead of Blackrock by a few points, and I also found out that South Liberties are 1 to the good against Gary Spillane. So tight games all over. 3 points here is not insurmountable if you're Patrickswell, but Kilmallock in the ascendancy, they'll be looking to build on it.
Just a slight delay here as Kelvin Lynch, I think it is, changing jersey. So just a slight delay, as we said, before we get back underway here in Newcastle West.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that's about, but it looks like at one chain, looks like Sean O'Brien has made his way off the pitch for Patrickswell. So I'm not sure. We'll figure out, John, who has gone in. We don't know, obviously, fourth official here to confirm that for us, but we'll just see. So Sean, on a yellow was involved in another incident, so I think Patrickswell probably taking the overall wise call to stand him down.
Back underway here now, and it's Kilmallock in possession again. Houlihan tried to get there ahead of Oisin O'Reilly, his own teammate, but it's Mark Carmody that has won the ball back for Patrickswell's. Carmody still going with it, gets the flick into the middle. Cian Fitzgerald has time and space to deliver, delivers it in high towards Gallan. It's going to be caught by Gallan, very well done by Aaron Gallan. Gives it into the middle. There's on running is John Kirby. Maybe should have tried to catch that one. Gets a hurley to it, and it's gone over the end line for a wide. So yeah, Paddy Maher on for Sean O'Brien, we can confirm. So Maher wearing number 19 will probably go out wing back. That's where he's usually operates for this team. As Barry Hennessy strikes this one, goes long with it, looking towards Oisin O'Reilly and Conor Hanley-Clark, but it's O'Reilly that's there first, going to bobble maybe into Graham Mulcahy, just doesn't come to hand, and bit of space for Mark Carmody here to delivers it low to Tom O'Brien. O'Brien delivers long, and there's John Kirby in there. Kirby gets a flick to it. It's going to break for John Kirby, maybe chance of a goal. Kirby has a look, has the shot, and that's flicked over the bar for John Kirby. Looked like a bit of a miss hit, absolutely not though. Goes over the black spot in the end. First score of the half for Patrickswell. Yeah,
and the drought, I guess they didn't score since the 19th minute, John, but you remember the first half ran out a little bit, so maybe 16, 17 minutes of play, if you like, without raising any score. So, miss hit or not, or just about getting over the bar or not, it counts, and it's something that Patrickswell will need to build on now straight away. Couple of position switches. Oisin Riley's kind of gone into the half forward line, and Graham Mulcahy's kind of just roaming around midfield at present. All very changing very quickly here.
And it's Dan Joy now in possession for Newcastle West. Switches it nicely over to Kevin O'Donnell. O'Donnell likes to shoot from a long way out, delivers this one low to Shane O'Brien. O'Brien gets it into the hand, onto the left hand side, back onto the right hand side. He's done that very nicely indeed. Has he got the score to match the build up play? He certainly has. Wonder score from Shane O'Brien, and that's just superb hurling.
Great stuff, John. And again, we've seen it before. Snaps, it spins one way, spins the other, leaves the defender going all over the place, and has the composure then to just drop it nicely between the sticks. Yeah,
Kelvin Lynch just didn't know how to deal with that as Phelim O'Reilly delivers this one into the middle. It's easily dealt with. Should have been easily dealt with, but Oisin O'Reilly has pickpocketed the Patrickswell defence here, and O'Reilly flicks the hand pass away. There's a chance for Gavin O'Mahony straight over the bar. 4 point lead for Kilmallock, I should say, and that's just again simple as you like. Little pop pass. O'Mahony won't miss them.
He certainly won't. Again, good stuff by Oisin O'Reilly. Didn't decide to take it on himself. Saw the run of Gavin O'Mahony. O'Mahony is such an experienced campaigner and has, I suppose, a new lease of life since he moved into the full forward line and the last couple of seasons. And, he made no mistake with that one, straight over the middle.
Yeah, foul there on Paddy Maher as he tried to evade a couple of Kilmallock challenges. So it's going to be a long range free here. And Dermot Burns has the ball at his feet. Just maybe looking for a bit of movement, a static inside. I think Aaron Gillan has won a battle there with Mark O'Loughlin to create a bit of space for himself, but it hasn't worked out. And it's O'Loughlin indeed that has come away with possession. And passes to Dan Joy. Bit of a risky one, but Joy has done enough to hold on to it and get the pass away, but it isn't a good one from his point of view under pressure. Still going though is Dan Joy, and he's got it back into the hand. Looking for a free again. May have thrown that one. Phelan O'Reilly picks up possession either way, and it's delivered inside. Robbie Hanley's ball in. Looking for Shane O'Brien or Graham Mulcahy. It's Kelvin Lynch that's going to get to it though for Patrickswell. Lynch looking for the foul. Nothing forthcoming from the referee Donegal O'Callaghan as of yet, and the ball bounces into the hand of Oisin O'Reilly. O'Reilly flicks it inside to Conor Hanley. Clark has got it in his hand under pressure. Hand pass across to Phelan O'Reilly. Maybe a goal chance. They need to get something from it. Shot saved brilliantly by Jason Gillan. He saw it late. It went through the hurley of Nigel Foley. Gillan did brilliantly from Phelan O'Reilly's shot. Step back off his left foot to O'Reilly. Got a bouncing shot, exactly what you wanted. Maybe not the cleanest of strikes. That didn't matter to Gillan. He still had to get a hurley to it, and he did so brilliantly.
Oh, what a save, John. You've just got to appreciate that the weather conditions, the closeness of the strike. There's AstroTurf in front of him. I don't know that it's skid up off that, but he still comfortably, in a lot of ways, got a hurley to it. Superb stuff. We saw, I suppose, an underage goalkeeper with Limerick in the 20s. Another man who played in goals, obviously Conor Hanley Clark in the season just gone, showing great hands there to pick that one out of the sky and lay it off to Phelan O'Reilly to get the shot off. I suppose Kilmallock going for the jugular there, really trying to ram home the advantage that they have, but I think they'll settle for a point here if Micheál Houlihan can oblige with this 65, which I think is the first of the afternoon.
Yeah, Doon is well leading 114 to 12 points in the early stages of the second half in Claughaun, while Ballybrown lead 112 to 9 points as Micheál Houlihan puts that one to the left and wide. So 7 minutes into the second half of that one between Ballybrown and Blackrock, 112 to 9 points, and Doon also leading the Patrick. But back to action here in Newcastle West, and it's Kilmallock in possession yet again. Philip O'Loughlin trying to come out with it. Over carry, says referee Donegal O'Callaghan. Good work from Cian Fitzgerald there. And Jordan Higgins piling on the pressure, and John Kirby was in there as well, but either way, that's good work from Kilmallock, and Aaron Gillan will make the way out.
Yeah, a bit of a momentum swing, I think, there, John. The goal chance, nothing comes of it. They get the 65, goes wide, and up come on the other end. Kilmallock get possession, but they actually cough up the free. So, chance for Patrickswell to just inch their way back in again. I know they've lost another point since half time, 2 points to 1 since the resumption, but Patrickswell will try and get a bit of momentum. Interesting to see, we haven't mentioned Aaron Gillan's leg heavily strapped as it was in Croke Park a couple of weeks ago, so obviously still carrying a bit of a knock, but he looks to be moving relatively well for what we expect from him, and his free taking now is important for Patrickswell.
It's Gillan with that free, and he has missed it, gone to the left and wide, so just maybe outside Gillan's comfort range, so he's unable to add to his 2 points from the first half. One of those, of course, only a free, the other coming from play, but that's a wide that Patrickswell did not need at this stage. And we're going to have a hold up here as Conor Hanley Clark has gone down off the ball, and it seems to be Graham Mulcahy is certainly incensed with Kelvin Lynch, I think, is seeming to get into blame for whatever's happened anyway. It's either way for
Kilmallock. In fact, it's actually Tom Nolan will leave Kelvin Lynch out of this, but yeah, whatever's happened, John, we were looking at Barry Hennessy to take the puck out, but Hanley Clark's helmet's off. There's a bit of, Graham Mulcahy doesn't like what he's seen from Tom Nolan, and Oisin O'Reilly joined him in protesting against that, so I suppose we're going to have to wait and see, like everyone else, to see what comes of this, but it doesn't look good to see a player down on the ground with his helmet off. So
yeah, we're seeing the umpires down below as well discussing, and Donegal O'Callaghan is certainly going in to talk to them. But either way, it's Conor Hanley Clark, the man that's down, and it was certainly Tom Nolan that was getting the blame for whatever occurred to see Hanley Clark drop to the ground. Certainly incensed Graham Mulcahy, and it's not an easy thing to do to see Graham Mulcahy that riled up about something, but
Yeah, I think as part of it is kind of looking after the younger players. You know, Conor Henry Clark, we saw a lot of him last year, but he is such a young man. He was under 20s, as I said already. Tom Nolan is probably 10 years his senior. Around 30 years of age now is Tom, son of the great Frankie, but he may be in a spot of bother here because the book is out. He's been summoned, so we'll see what comes of this.
Yeah, Donegal O'Callaghan's gone over to Tom Nolan here. And the interesting thing here will be the colour of the card produced by the referee. It's a red one, and that's the end of Tom Nolan's evening. Donegal O'Callaghan, on advice from his umpires, has seen enough in that incident that saw Conor Henry Clark down to the ground, and Tom Nolan has received his marching orders. He's certainly not going off at any quick pace, but either way, they will restart with a Barry Hennessy puck out, but more importantly than that, Patrickswell are down to 14 players.
Yeah, they're going to find it very difficult now, John. They're going to have to really get in the trenches and dig this one out. But I think Kilmallock now are going to want to stick to what they were doing so well in the last maybe 20 minutes of play, and try and build on the man advantage and the lead that they have. And
we're seeing Aaron Gillan now push well out the field as a result maybe of that decision. Gillan now on the run, gives the pass away to Keane Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald back to Gillan. It's one low back there by Kevin O'Donnell, pulled on first time by Dermot Burns, but that'll trickle out over the end line and wide. So I think you may see now Dermot Burns push up the field into midfield. Looks to be detailed to Mark Robbie Hanley. He's making his way back now though. Maybe just a quick sojourn up the field. Puck out is long from Hennessy, looking for Phelim O'Reilly. And it's O'Reilly has done brilliantly to take that one. It's O'Reilly with the chance now. Little flick of the wrist from Phelim O'Reilly. Brilliant score from the Kilmallock number 12, and that's a 5-point lead now, Tom.
Yeah, 3 on the spin since half time. One for Patrickswell before that, but Kilmallock coming up with the goods. I think Patrickswell are staying more or less with six defenders. You know, obviously that means someone has to drop back. They're going to have to trust that Aaron Gillan can maybe lead the line up there for them with man light. But again, another ball just overcooked and pushed out over the line. So Kilmallock coming up trumps on a lot of these ones.
Yeah, it was Dermot Burns trying to flick it outside to Paddy Maher, but way too much purchase on that one. And it's Paddy O'Loughlin taking it quickly. Henley Clark, beautiful pass. Tosheen O'Reilly, Phelim O'Reilly indeed it is. Didn't quite catch that, doesn't matter. O'Reilly gets a second in quick succession there for Kilmallock. Second point of the game for Phelim O'Reilly. And that's just another score that puts them 6 points clear and very much in the ascendancy now, Tom.
Yeah, great stuff. Oisín was the man in the first half. Phelim is another man in the yellow helmet trying to stand up in the second half. Two great scores. And I guess when you go a man up, you want to just rattle off a couple of quick points to really ram that home and not give Patrickswell any oxygen.
Jack Kelleher with that shot after the pass from Aaron Gillan. There was 3 Kilmallock players teaming onto him. It did enough to put Jack Kelleher off, and that's a wide ball for Patrickswell, and they really can't afford to have too many more of them if they are to get back into this contest, as Hennessy goes short to Mark O'Loughlin, back to Barry Hennessy. Hennessy then goes long with it, aiming inside first Shane O'Brien. And so O'Brien over the top goes instead to Oisín O'Reilly, who's now in the full forward position. Shane O'Brien has Oisín O'Reilly inside, doesn't need to find him though, as Shane O'Brien pops that one over. 7-point lead for Kilmallock, and at the moment Tom Clancy, they're running away with this one.
They most certainly are, yeah. They're really building on everything that good that has gone beforehand. Shane O'Brien now, standing up, and he's such a young man, and I guess ideal scenario for him now, getting a couple of scores and really feeling part of the senior team now.
5 in a row for Patrickswell, or for Kilmallock I should say, as Paddy Maher tries to deliver that one inside. It's Aaron Costello that's won it, but his pass, a switch of play over to Kevin O'Donnell, doesn't go to plan. There's a man down. I think it's John Kirby. Patrick Kirby indeed it is, that's down for Patrickswell. It'll clash as Costello one possession there for Kilmallock. So it's going to be a sideline ball on that far side, but before all that, it's going to be a bit of attention needed for Patrick Kirby.
Yeah, again, a chance to draw a breath. Such a dreary evening, John. It could make you wonder, do we need lights? But just looking around elsewhere, Ballybrown leading Blackrock 113-9 is the latest score we have there. Ross Kenny coming up with the goal there, and good to see Ross. I know Ross personally, he suffered a cruciate, would you believe, John, in the first game back after COVID in 2020, and I suppose only coming back to true form now. So good to see him on the score sheet there for Ballybrown, but back underway here.
Yeah, Doon leading by 5 still against Napirshick in Clahan. as Kilmallock with Robbie Hanley winning this one, and Mulcahy gets to the loose ball. How many times have we said that over the years as Philip O'Loughlin delivers this one? Aimed to go long but was half hooked. Paddy Maher now to Diarmuid Burns. Burns trying to step away from Houlihan, manages to get a bit of space to deliver off his left in towards Gillan. Mark O'Loughlin just needs to get a hurley to it and make sure his support is there as Gillan fouls Dan Joy, and that's going to be a free out.
That's pretty reckless from Aaron Gillan, I think, on Dan Joy. The ball was probably not there to be won, John. I must say a bit of frustration in that, you must say, from the 4-time All-Ireland winner. Still seems strange to say that about a Limerick person, but yeah, he's straight into the book. Donald Callan doesn't hesitate to go in, and the right decision. But Patrickswell are going to have to do something here, and it looks like they are. Benitez with Peter Harty, a great servant down the years, across the grades.
Peter Harty, of course, yeah, a very big servant.
He's warming up here, yeah.
Of Patrickswell, a goal threat, and it's goals they need, you'd think, to get back into this, as Phelim O'Reilly takes the possession of the long delivery. O'Reilly, an excellent second half so far, needs a bit of help this time. Not the best of passes to Gavin O'Mahony. O'Mahony has a go off his right. It's a great ball in. Shane O'Brien, beautiful touch. O'Brien can finish the game here. Shane O'Brien buries it for Kilmallock. Huge goal in this game. 10-point lead now for Kilmallock. Brilliant little ball across from Gavin O'Mahony. O'Brien's touch was sensational, and into the back of net, Tom. Devastating finish.
Oh, what a strike, John, what a strike. We were saying this guy, the highlight reel earlier in the year, that goal for the school, but his highlight reel, John, is going to be phenomenal by the time he's finished up playing, which is many moons away.
This season, Tom, in the year 2022, his highlight reel is already phenomenal. As Peter Harty is on for Patrickswell, and it's John Kirby that departs for them, so...
Oh, what a strike, John, what a strike. And the touch was phenomenal. He spins onto the left, and even Jason Gillan, I'd say Jason Gillan got near it, but such was the power and the accuracy of it. Just an inch or two beneath the crossbar, some strike. And I think John, that's this game well and truly put to bed now. Patrickswell, you know, to have only 4 white flags at this stage is bizarre, and they're man down, so they're really, really struggling.
Of course, the Patrickswell side without Josh Considine.
Yeah, Josh Considine, of course, I believe not too far away from return, but also Kevin O'Brien is on his travels this year. Calvin Carroll and Cian Lynch also out injured, among others. So really down a number of players. It's always going to be tricky. They've had to shuffle the pack ever so slightly this evening, as Diarmuid Burns with a trademark free there from him. Just, I suppose, putting a bit of something on the score sheet for them. You know, Diarmuid Burns is probably the best long-range free taker in the country. There's no getting around that. But a much-needed score for Patrickswell. They just don't want to let this game run away from them. There's still 4 other games in the group, John, that they'll be looking at targeting and winning. So, you know, plenty to play for in the 15 minutes from that point of view. As another free-in is going to come here, I think. Yeah,
Shane O'Brien again. It was winning possession. Mulcahy has the shot. Advantage had accrued, but...
Yeah, another wide there. I think that's the 4th now for Kilmallock. Patrickswell with 6 on that count. And you know, I suppose I guess Graham will be disappointed with that, but you know, they've plenty in the tank.
Yeah, they do indeed here, as Kilmallock on the attack once more. It's Mulcahy again. He's going to go for it from long range. It's Graham Mulcahy. And it's just tailed to the right and wide on this occasion.
Two in a row from Graham Mulcahy. It's not often we see that, certainly in a Kilmallock shirt anyway. He's floating around the middle. He's plenty loose. He was trying to make amends for the first one by doing that one, but yeah, just a bit wayward.
Yeah, Micheál Houlihan winning that one from the puck out. Kevin O'Donnell delivers long. Oisin O'Reilly with a bit of space. He's going to have a go from the touchline as Oisin O'Reilly. Fantastic effort from the Kilmallock captain. And that's now them into an 11-point lead, Tom. And it's looking very, very tricky to see a way back into this for Patrickswell.
Oh, it is, yeah. I think John, we can start writing their obituary in this game, but we wouldn't do that for the championship just yet. Kilmallock, as I suspected, I think carrying that bit of momentum that they did from last year's county final, they finished that game strongly. They're going to try and do the same here as another contested ball here, and Aaron Gillan doesn't win it over Mark O'Loughlin. I think everything going Kilmallock's way, and nothing indeed, really Patrickswell the way, in fairness.
Indeed it is, Tom, and say 11-point lead, of course, it's a 10-point lead after that Diarmuid Burns free. Only Patrickswell's second score of this half. And it's just not working out for him inside. It is again with Shane O'Brien. And O'Brien up against Kelvin Lynch, who's giving him a torrid time. Lynch has done well on this occasion though. And Gavin O'Mahony trying that one. Lynch catches it, but there's been a foul as O'Mahony was hit late. A chance for Micheál Hoolan to add to his impressive total that he has not added to yet in this second half. He had 5 points from frees in the first half. Did the Kilmallock number 10, and this could be number 6.
Yeah, and I think the most impressive thing, John, is there's been threats all over, and certainly in the second half, Kilmallock have had other players to stand up. Phelan O'Reilly didn't score in the first half. Gavin O'Mahony didn't score in the first half. They've contributed. Gavin O'Mahony just won a free there. Graham McCahey now has had a couple of shots as well. So there's no over-reliance on one forward. That augurs well if you're going to want to win that Daily Cup in a couple of months' time. Yes, they're probably not anywhere near their peak just yet, but you know, when you consider Oisin O'Reilly and Graham McCahey wouldn't have donned the green of the club in such a long time, that and even Micheál Hoolan, that they're motoring quite well. You know, they only would have had a couple of challenge matches under their belt, and they seem to be a cohesive enough unit so far.
Yeah, no problem whatsoever for Micheál Hoolan with that one. His 6th overall, first of the second half, and now it is an 11-point lead for Kilmallock here. And it goes again for Oisin O'Reilly, who's mixing his play from inside in the full forward line to out the field as well. Here as Nigel Foley now seems to be picking up Shane O'Brien. Pass comes to Kelvin Lynch, and it's just not working out here for Patrickswell initially. Anyway, it's into the middle to Keane Fitzgerald. There's been a foul though. Kind of gets Patrickswell out of a bit of trouble. Yeah,
a bit of a flick there, and a bit of dissent then from Oisin O'Reilly as Donegal decides to bring it forward. But yeah, it looks like, I suppose, in many people's opinion, this wouldn't have been a shock. Maybe it's a bit of a shock happening in Clahan with about 5 minutes to go. Doon are leading 118 to 16 points. I suppose Doon, you know, among that top four, John, for the last few years, they're going to want to get up the steps of the Mackey stand eventually and lift that piece of silverware. You know, people talk about the talent coming through there. They're going to want to, you know, get one better than the final. They've been in a couple of finals in recent years, but just haven't managed to get over the line.
Dermot Burns with that strike from Burns to the right and wide. I think he was aiming that one around the edge of the square, but just kind of skewed off the hurley a little bit, and it's going to be a wide ball. And it's Barry Hennessy's puck out, and Barry rightly taking every last second of this one before delivering a perfect one to Paddy O'Loughlin on the near side here in Newcastle West. Delivered in long from Paddy, looking for Shane O'Brien. It's going to be Burns who gets to it though. It's not controlled though by the Limerick wing back, an All-Ireland winner, but Patrickswell have managed to get the ball out of their defence with Mark Harmody now in possession to Jack Kelleher. Kelleher along to Keane Fitzgerald. Brilliant block there from Aaron Costello as Peter Harty and Paddy O'Loughlin tussle on the ground. It's delivered inside now from Keane Fitzgerald. Great delivery inside, just not one initially there by John Kirby, or Patrick Kirby I should say, and it's Mark O'Loughlin coming out with ease. Aaron Costello out to Kevin O'Donnell. O'Donnell now has the ball, delivers it along the ground to Oisin O'Reilly. Lovely touch from O'Reilly. Has the pace for Mark Carmody, and Oisin O'Reilly just burning anyone he comes near. He's still going, O'Reilly. This would be a stunning goal if he can get the ball away. He's still going with it, met by the shoulder of Nigel Foley. Great shot from Nigel Foley. He's come off second best, but probably denied a certain goal there. Beautiful skill from O'Reilly. Really took the Patrickswell defence to the cleaners, out to the shops and back again they came. And in the end, Nigel Foley put the body on the line, got the challenge in.
Out for 65, yeah.
And out
John,
for 65.
I think my car can't go that fast. Oisin O'Reilly is just some turn of speed. You know,
that says more about your car, I think, Tom, than Oisin O'Reilly's pace.
No, I'm well within the limits. But no, in fairness to Oisin, he you know what he's going to do, but how do you stop it? I mean, you can only stop it. I said it in the first half. You can only stop him by fouling him, really, or else maybe get 2 or 3 around him, like almost happened at the end there. That he just ran out of road. But phenomenal performance by him. A little bit quieter in the second half, but I guess he just needs to get onto a breaking ball and he can make things happen.
And that's it. That's all Oisin O'Reilly really needs, is that bit of pace. You know, to beat people. You know, just needs a yard or two of pace. And he's able to do serious damage once he has that, as Micheál Hoolan strikes this 65. And it's over the bar it goes from Micheál Hoolan. It's another score for him. Another second of the half and second in succession for Micheál Hoolan. First 65 of the game. And now it's Kilmallock leading 120 to 2-5.
Yeah, 120 is good scoring on any day, John, and considering the conditions here in West Limerick, it's phenomenal against last year's runners-up. So plenty of things to be positive about if you're Fintan O'Connor and Paul Tobin and Owen Ryan, those guys who are involved with Kilmallock this year. So they've picked up where the previous management had left off. There's no doubt about that.
And it's Tom O'Brien trying to win possession for Patrickswell. They've won a free though, as conditions, believe it or not, even worse and further here in Newcastle West. The rain is teeming down once again. It eased for a little while, but you're seeing now.
Yeah, David Dempsey has struck the back of the net for the Pierce League, and they've added a point soon after, so they're back to a 1-point game there with about maybe a minute or two left in Kilmallock. So familiar foes here and familiar foes there, so that one a little bit tighter than this one, but I guess this one, John, effectively was over with that red card for Tom Nolan.
Indeed it was. They gave Patrickswell a mountain to climb. It was soon followed then by that goal from Shane O'Brien that has really given Kilmallock a big lead here, 120-25. The lead as Aaron Gillan lines this free up just inside the 65-metre line, but it's getting darker and darker here in Newcastle West as Gillan strikes this one over the bar. That one goes, and of course scoring difference will be a big part of this Senior Hurling Championship campaign, Tom, and Patrickswell rightly taking their points.
Yeah, he could come into it for a lot of different positions. You know, top two is a reminder to everyone, back to the full format this year. The top two find themselves straight into semi-finals as there's another shot here. Aaron Costello with that one.
Wouldn't be noted for his scoring prowess. Still had a go though, the Costello, and it's just tails to the right and wide.
Yeah, I think the stats team beside us here, John, will be straight into him after that. Yeah, just let it into the forwards. They'll do the damage. But, you know, worth to go at this stage of the game, in fairness.
And Stephen Burns has possession for Patrickswell. Flicks it outside to Paddy Maher. Again, it's just that bit far, and Paddy O'Loughlin able to deal with that one sufficiently from Kilmallock's point of view. He knows he's got a free man in Oisin O'Reilly, and a no-look pass from him into Oisin. Gillan with the challenge, and Oisin O'Reilly was a high one. Oisin just gets on with it as Robbie Hanley flicks this one across Kevin O'Donnell. He hasn't scored yet in this half. Not like him. One's going to drop as well, and it's going to drop. It's kept in play. Now it's wide from Jason Gillan. And
level in Clahan, John, 118 apiece. It might be the first round, but you know, these teams, they don't like losing to each other. They don't like you know, losing any game of any level. So I suppose it's interesting to see what way that one will finish up in the next couple of minutes. But the rain is teeming down. I didn't think it would get much worse here, but it is absolutely catastrophic weather here.
Yeah, it's harder and harder for these players to keep their feet on it and get a proper strike away, but that's exactly what Dan Joy has done now. Great pass to Phelan O'Reilly. He's got 3 points in the second half. He's got Conor Hanley Clark with him. He's going to keep going though. Phelan O'Reilly before giving it to Clark. Clark strikes first time. Buried!
What a
stunning
goal.
Finish from Conor Hanley Clark. The run came from Phelan O'Reilly. The finish came from Hanley Clark. Goal number 2 for Kilmallock. It's a 14-point lead now. And what a massive, massive goal that could end up being.
Oh, what a strike. Just whips it to the back of the net. You know, players don't do it enough, John, in my liking in this day and age. They don't draw on the ball when it's like that. It popped up nicely for him, and again, to beat a player like Jason Gillan with such power, phenomenal finish. And in fairness to Phelan O'Reilly, he's had a tremendous second half, set that up nicely. When the chance was gone for himself, he decided, I'm going to use my forward colleague here, and what a strike by Conor Hanley Clark.
He made his name last year with 2 points in the county final after coming off the bench. A very solid year as well for the Limerick under-20s and their run to the All-Ireland final. Unlucky against Kilkenny that day, but Munster champions as well. Centre forward for Kilmallock today, and he's had a stunning game. 1-2 now for Conor Hanley Clark. And it's just a fine performance here as Peter Harty tries to get Patrickswell back some bit of respectability on the scoreline. It's not happening thus far as Paddy O'Loughlin delivers this one long.
Yeah, and John, Pierce have got a goal and a point since we last spoke about it. So they're now 4 points ahead, 219 to 119 inside Kilmallock, as Hanley Clark.
Yeah, Conor Hanley Clark with the strike. He's got 1-2 as we mentioned. This one's gone to the right and wide. Tried adding to his score. Didn't happen on this occasion.
And John, he was probably last season a bit of a bit part player. You know, it was used for 10-15 minutes at times. You know, he's got number 11 on his back. I think they'll find it hard to move him out of there, or certainly out of the forward unit as this championship goes on. He looks in fine shape this season. Had a good season in goals for the 20s, and is really building on it here with a fine performance this evening.
Shot coming from Patrick Kirby. Over the bar it goes from Kirby. Fine score from the Patrickswell number 12, but it's only now a little bit of flowering on the scoreline from Patrickswell's point of view.
John, if you said to me before the game they wouldn't score 10 times, well they may still prove me wrong and do that. But if you said they wouldn't score 10 times in around an hour's hurling, I would have been very surprised. They've been second best in a lot of sectors.
Need to have as Shane O'Brien takes this one from Oisin O'Reilly, gets the shot away. Does Shane O'Brien? Another stunning effort from him. Just beautiful stuff from Shane O'Brien. Anyone that's seen him play in this year, last year with the minors a couple of years ago, knows the talent he has. Of course, his father, a very talented man indeed, as a strength and conditioning coach, formerly now with the Limerick senior footballers, now with Young Munster, I believe, at the moment as well. So just stunning again from O'Brien.
Yeah, great stuff, great execution once again. And in fairness to him, there's sometimes players can come through as underage stars like he has done, and there can be pressure on him. And I suppose there's probably a little bit of pressure on him coming in here this evening, but he has delivered. That's what you got to admire about him. He's delivered. He's got his scores. He did it tough enough first 20 minutes or so. Just didn't get much possession, but he's remained patient, and a fine goal and another fine point there.
And it's Patrickswell now doing well to hold off that attack from Oisin O'Reilly. Ball into the middle for Jack Kelleher. And Kelleher switches play nicely to Patrick Kirby. Kirby on the run. Good defending back there. I think it was Philip O'Loughlin that actually got the flick in ahead of Paddy. And it's Hanley Clark yet again. Little pop pass to Micheál Hoolan. Yet to score from play. He'll want to fix that one as Conor Hanley Clark delivers a perfect ball into Shane O'Brien. Surely foul as O'Brien may have left that one go. Referee Donegal O'Callaghan, Patrickswell will be fairly happy that he didn't.
Yeah, he's given Kelvin Lynch
had
the
the
run
arms around.
Yeah, he's given him the run around in the second half. And in fairness, when you're a man light, it makes it all the more difficult for Kelvin Lynch. If anyone is at home wondering, is Kelvin Lynch related to Keane? He's his older brother. It's good to see him back in the senior shirt. I know he's been in and out of things in recent years, and he was away a couple of years ago as well. So good to see him back in the club colours this season. Not his night, unfortunately, and then not Patrickswell's night. But
result from Clahan here, Tom. The Piershig 220, Doon 118. Last 7 scores from the Piershig, and a Conor Boylan injury time goal sees them to victory in Clahan. The Piershig under the cosh for large parts of that game, from what we've been getting updates from, Tom, but they've come through yet again, and no surprise to see that. Kieran Birmingham and his backroom team will be delighted, as will the Kilmallock backroom team, as Houlihan throws over another free here. We're in the dying embers of this game, Tom, but from a long way out, it's been one result that's been going to be the clear objection at this stage.
Yeah, great stuff once again from Kilmallock. They're winning their frees, they're taking their scores. But just to go back to the Napirshy thing, to get the last 7 on the trot, I must have put the curse on them, John. I think they were maybe 5 or 6 down when I said looks like Doon are going to pull one out of the bag there. But Napirshy finishing very strongly, as Kilmallock are too.
Yeah, Gavin O'Mahony, he's certainly finishing strongly with that one. Second point of the evening for the vastly experienced Kilmallock, number 14. It's another score for them, and amazingly, a 16-point lead now they're into. No one would have seen this before the game, this result coming the way it's come. But that's where we are at the moment, 223 to 2-7.
And John, I suppose the last 2 seasons we've had the half groups, if you like, the groups of 3, and losing the first round of those can really put you on the back foot. It did put Kilmallock on the back foot last year, but they managed to come out of it. But I suppose back to 6, Patrickswell will not panic. They have a very experienced management team. They have Ross Corbett, as you said to me beforehand, involved as well. They can reset after tonight, and they might finish with another goal here. Yeah,
it's O'Brien with the shot. Brilliant save from Hennessy. He was in the right position, Barry Hennessy. The ball still had to be saved. It was a thunderous shot from Tom O'Brien, but the Limerick sub-keeper did brilliantly to just flick it around the corner. Make sure I don't want to concede anymore. The 2 goals in the first half were enough for me. And as we just see this one petering out to an end, Tom, Ballybrown have also earned victory.
They have. Before we come to Ballybrown, we must go to a match I think that was played in Doon, if I'm not mistaken. South Liberties defeating Gary Spillane 119 to 20 points. So by all accounts, a point up at half-time, so another hard-earned win there for the Liberties. They did push Kilmallock all the way in the quarter-final last year, so in fairness to them, they're starting as they mean to go on this year. And Ballybrown playing out in Ballyagrand, and we must mention Ballygrand's rejuvenated surface out there, and that held that game this evening, and it's Ballybrown winning out there 119 to 13 points. So a good start for South Liberties and Ballybrown, who I suppose 2 sides who will be eyeing up top spot in that group come crunch time.
Lovely pick up early there from Micheál Hoolan as Dermot Burns popped over at 65. It's Jordan Higgins now delivering in long, aiming for Aaron Gillan. Hasn't been an easy evening for Gillan. He's been well marked out of the game. 2 or 3 around every time he's looks to get the ball, goes in with that challenge against Phelan O'Reilly. 50-50 ball. Kilmallock come away with it initially anyway. But John Flynn has done very well on that occasion to win the ball back. But it's a Shemazel developing. Keane Fitzgerald has the ball in his hand. It was Jack Kelleher and Keane Fitzgerald. Keane Fitzgerald fouled. Another free in for Patrickswell.
Yeah, just I go back to a match between these two sides, John. I know they play so often you kind of muddle them all up, but I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, in 2018, and I know it would have been round 3 maybe at that stage after Limerick won the All-Ireland. Kilmallock came back and they really did a job on Patrickswell as Gillan's hurley goes flying there. He really lost control of it, but it
slipped out of his hand and he gets a 65 out. The hurley went one way, the ball went the other, took a deflection off a Kilmallock man and out for 65. And if you weren't aware of the conditions before that incident,
that confirms it.
You're definitely aware of it now. Very difficult evening for Patrickswell by all accounts. 223 to 28 is what Kilmallock scoreline. There's what Kilmallock have run up on the scoreline. Very impressive stuff here as Patrickswell have gone short with this one. Carmody delivers it in long. Maybe a late goal they're looking for. It's going to drop out to Patrick Kirby. Kirby's going to take the shot on and pop it over the bar. And that is the full-time whistle here in Newcastle West. It's victory for Kilmallock on a scoreline of 223 to 2-9. It's a massive, massive victory here, Tom. And the county champions of 2021 under new management, as we've mentioned throughout, they've laid down a marker early here.
They have, and if there was any doubt, John, as to where they were going to be, if they were going to be in the shake-up again for this season, I think they've answered any of those doubts this evening. A thoroughly excellent performance, rocked by 2 early goals, but I think maybe after 10 or 15 minutes they completely dominated Patrickswell. I do go back to Patrickswell, as Keane Lynch has been needed there with an umbrella. They're missing 4 or 5 regulars in their team, and you take those 4 or 5 players like that, you take the hurler of the year out of any club side, you're going to find it difficult. Patrickswell they got the goals early on, but just weren't able to get into a fluency, weren't able to get Burns and Gillan motoring like we know so well. But Kilmallock deserving winners. I think even without that Tom Nolan red card, I think they would have won this one comprehensively. But they didn't let up, in fairness to them. And 2 fine goals from 2 young players, Conor Henley Clark and Shane O'Brien. They're in with a lot of experienced players beside them. They took their goals well, they took their points well. In fairness to the 2 of them, so much to be positive about if you're from the Baalbek.
Yeah, indeed. A fantastic start to the Bon Secure Hospital Limerick Senior Hurling Championship here in 2022. It is Kilmallock that have come out victorious here in Newcastle West on a 223-229 score line. Join us again for more live action soon on Limerick GA TV. We'll sure to be having another Senior Hurling Championship game next weekend. But from all of us here in Newcastle West, thanks for tuning in.